Hey y'all, it's your girl Michaela Janae here, back with another video, and today I'm coming at you guys with a client hair tutorial. This was a epic transformation. It was some cut and color, but as you can tell from the title, this color did not come out how I needed it to. I will also be reviewing the color that I used. I used the Chromasilk liquid color. That was my first time using it, and it really did not give what I thought it was supposed to give. So if you guys would like me to also create a video about how to rectify situations like this where it was your error or a product error and the client ends up not being happy with the results, what to do about that. So I will be posting a video like that soon. Let me know if you guys will be interested in it. In this video, you're going to see that the results aren't terrible. They were actually really nice, but the color did not give the payoff that I needed to give. This client came in requesting a plum. She said she didn't want to be too purple. She didn't want to give Barney or anything like a grape, but she wanted a plum purple. And I thought I picked good enough colors and to achieve that, and that's not what happened here. I tried out a new color, which can be tricky. Whenever you're trying out something new on a client, it can be very tricky, especially when it's a fantasy color, because it needs to be, you know, on point, and it needs to do what it needs to do, and that's not what happened here. I think I used, I want to say 40 volume. I don't know. When I get to the mixing, we're going to see what I used. I don't want to say I used 40 and didn't. But right now you see me cutting off a bulk of her colored hair. She is going to go pretty short, but we just want to leave on as much as possible because you never know where the client really wants to be. Even if someone gives you a cut inspiration picture, make sure you're always cutting the hair less than what they say until you get to the very end, because you can never glue it back on. You can only ever take more off. So make sure you are leaving more hair on until the very end, and they're like, okay, I want it to my scalp. Don't ever go to the scalp at first, because then they're like, oh wait, I didn't know my head was shaped like that. You never know what the client really needs, let alone wants, until the end. So just make sure you leave on as much hair as possible. As you can see, I'm cutting her hair in sections because once again, this is a curly cut, and I want to make sure that it is precise in every area. So as you can see, her ends are pretty damaged from her previous color. So for sure, we are going to cut all of that off eventually. It was really dry, and the curl pattern was a little bit different there. So right now, I'm just going to go around and cut it, giving it the shape I need, a tapered shape. Okay, so remember, as you're cutting, never to cut past your second knuckle, as you see me doing. If you are not experienced with doing that, you will cut yourself. Even me, who is experienced with doing that, I can still cut myself, so be careful. So as you can see, this is me pouring the color. I added, I want to say 3V, which is like a dark violet, and a little bit of red to the color, and I got no violet payoff. As you can see, I'm using a 40 volume because I wanted this color to be a high lift. Now maybe I did not use the right developer. This developer I did get from a beauty supply store. So I really don't know what it was in this situation, but I did do other experiences with different developers, and you know, even on someone else's head, and this color still did not give what I needed it to give. So I think it's really a product issue. I even looked up videos on this color. I asked the workers in the professional hair store that I purchased this color from, you know, what was the deal with it, and they had no words. They didn't understand why it didn't do what it needed to do. The color did not lift even using a 40 volume. Her hair is only going to get, it's going to lift, but it's not, the purple didn't show up at all, which was what was really disappointing. It didn't give, you know, the lift that I was expecting for a high lift color. So right now I'm just applying it to her hair, combing it through, making sure everything is saturated. As you can see, once you wet down curly hair, you see how much hair you really have left on. But like I said, most of that will be cut off eventually. So I'm just going through and saturating that, and you're gonna see me put a plastic cap on her, and I'm gonna even let her process underneath the dryer. So after I let her process, then I went to wash her with a color safe shampoo, condition, all that, and as you can see, it looks good. I'm not even gonna hold you, it did look good. The color was not terrible, it just wasn't what I needed. The color actually looks better on camera than it did in person. In person it kind of looked darker than it looks on camera, but you know, it probably also looked this way in the light, but it was just a little bit too red than what we were going for. At least it was, you know, something. It didn't look black, it didn't look like what she came in with, but it wasn't exactly what we needed. So right now you see me resectioning her hair and slowly going shorter and shorter in the tapered shape that she wants. So as you see me, I'm cutting and I'm pulling my fingers out in a triangle, not in a, what is that, a 90-degree angle. I want to say kind of like a 40. I'm pulling it out at a 40 to, you know, cut in a tapered style. So that is what I'm doing. I like to cut this type of hair while wet. You know, when it comes to curly cuts, you have to do what works for you. Sometimes it's better to cut it wet, sometimes it's better to cut it dry, to where you can just, you know, see how it's already going to be styled. But her hair, once it's wet, it's going to basically pretty much look the same when it's dry. So that's why I'm cutting it while wet. So I'm just going to go through and we're just going to keep getting shorter and shorter, because she wanted to go super short and I just want to make sure that we didn't get there too quickly. We want to make sure that they are certain in the style. So that is what you're going to see me do, and then I'm going to come back. forgot to mention that I did go in with some clipper action on this cut too. When I tell y'all she wanted to go short, she wanted to go short, but she's actually been short before, but never with clippers. So this actually came out super cute. And we're in Louisiana, so it is super hot out here, so it felt great to just get all of that hair off and to just have the ease and conveniency of a shortcut. So the cut did not disappoint. We loved this cut on her, and it was just so nice and effortless, and the taper really added to it. I think I went in with like one guard, and I just put that in the back and around her ears. Now I'm putting in some leave-in conditioner, and I'm going to put in the Nairobi foam, excuse me, and I add a little bit of oil to her hair too, because she likes to put oil in her hair. And I'm just going to style. I actually ends up diffusing her hair, and it looks really nice and really effortless. At the end of the video, you are going to see the corrected color, and the corrected color looked great. I actually, when I talk about how to go about, you know, redoing a service, explaining why something went wrong, especially when it's not your fault. See, and this is kind of the true color. I'm going to explain how I got that color. So as you can see now, it's looking more true to color. It was kind of just giving like a reddish brown. It was not even given a cute red or anything. This is really how it looked in our eyes. I think I changed the ring light, so this is how it really looked. So like I said, for the other color, I'm kind of going to explain that in the next video I do, what I did to achieve that. But I really just had to, you know, relift and pick a different color brand, and it worked out really well, as you're going to see at the end of the video. Now I'm just using a little edge control, and I'm going to be doing her edges, which super added to the style. It made it really, really cute. I just love the lineup. This cut was really giving what it needed to give. I loved it. So I think that is all for this video. You guys see me giving a full transformation haircut and color, but that goes to show that everything will not be perfect, and sometimes it's not your fault. Sometimes the color may be old, sometimes the color didn't perform as well as you needed to. It's not always your fault, but I will make a video on how to correct it. As long as you're doing your job to explain to your client what happened, what can we do to rectify the situation, things will work out. Make sure you don't put too much stress on yourself, and make sure that the client leaves understanding what went on.